CUSMU1. We've got a real treat for you. A 1983 Pontiac Trans Am that's sure to turn heads and get your heart racing. This beauty is currently up for grabs on Craigslist for just $9,900. And let me tell you, it's a deal you don't want to miss. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 1983? That's an old car. But trust me, this Trans Am is anything but a rusty old clunker. In fact, it's in good condition, with just 45,000 miles on the odometer. That's right, this car has been cherished and well maintained over the years, and it shows. But what really sets this Trans Am apart is its rarity. Get this. Only 2,500 of these NASCAR Daytona pace cars were produced back in '83. That means you'll be driving a piece of history every time you get behind the wheel. And speaking of the interior, the Recaro seats have just been professionally reupholstered, so you'll be cruising in comfort and style. But wait, there's more. This Trans Am comes equipped with cold AC, perfect for those hot summer days. And if you're a fan of that classic T-top look, you're in luck. This car's got 'em, complete with vinyl covers. Plus, the original wheels are still intact, adding to the overall vintage vibe. Now, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This car is over 35 years old, so it may have some minor imperfections here and there. But overall, it's in great shape and runs like a dream. The seller even mentions that it's fun to drive and handles well, so you know you're getting a car that's not just a pretty face. And let's talk about that price tag one more time. $9,900. For a rare, well-maintained classic like this, that's an absolute steal. Plus, the seller notes that these Trans Ams are sure to become collector's items in the near future, so you could be making a smart investment as well. The bottom line is this. If you're looking for a fun, stylish ride that's sure to turn heads and make you feel like a boss on the road, this 1983 Pontiac Trans Am is the car for you. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Head on over to Craigslist and make it yours today. 2. We're diving into the world of classic Fords with a real gem. A 1966 Ford two-door custom that's up for grabs on Craigslist for just $9,850. Now, I know that price might seem a little steep for a car that's over 50 years old, but trust me, this one's got some serious history behind it. First off, let's talk about what makes this Ford so special. According to the seller, this particular model was originally designed as a stripped-down version for the racetrack. That's right, this baby was built for speed. Most of these cars were sold with big blocks and 4-speed transmissions, but this one's a little different. It was actually ordered with an automatic transmission and a 289 V8 engine, which might not be as powerful as some of the other options out there, but still packs a decent punch. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this car has definitely seen some better days. The seller admits that it's in fair condition, which is a polite way of saying it's got some wear and tear. The ad mentions that it's had a hard life inside and out, so you can expect to see some dings, dents, and maybe even a little rust here and there. But hey, that's all part of the charm of owning a classic car, right? Despite its age and condition, this Ford is still road-ready. It's got current tags and is even insured with Hagerty for $12,000, which is a pretty solid indication of its value. And speaking of value, the seller believes that the mileage shown on the odometer, 89,000 miles, is accurate. That might seem like a lot for a car this old, but considering its history as a racetrack model, it's actually pretty impressive. So, who is this car perfect for? Well, if you're looking to dip your toes into the classic car world without breaking the bank, this 1966 Ford two-door Custom might just be the perfect entry point. It's got a cool history, a unique combination of features, and a price tag that won't completely drain your savings account. Plus, with a little TLC and some elbow grease, you could really make this car shine and turn it into a true showstopper. At the end of the day, this Ford is a piece of automotive history that deserves to be appreciated and preserved. It might not be in perfect condition, but it's got character and charm for days. So if you're ready to take on a new project and become the proud owner of a classic American muscle car, head on over to Craigslist and check out this 1966 Ford two-door Custom. Who knows? It might just be the start of a beautiful friendship between you and your new four-wheeled companion. 3. We've got a real blast from the past, a 1958 Ford Ranchero that's looking for a new home. This classic beauty is currently up for sale on Craigslist for $9,500, and let me tell you, it's got some serious history behind it. First things first, let's talk about what makes this Ranchero so special. According to the seller, this car comes with the original owner's pink slip, which is a pretty rare find for a vehicle that's over 60 years old. That means this Ranchero has been cherished and well maintained by its previous owner, and now it's ready to start a new chapter with a lucky buyer. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 140,000 miles? That's a lot of wear and tear. But fear not, my friends. The seller assures us that this Ranchero runs and drives excellently, despite its age and mileage. That's a testament to the quality and durability of these classic Ford vehicles, and it's a big part of why they're still so popular among collectors and enthusiasts today. Of course, it's important to keep in mind that this is still a vintage vehicle, and it may have some quirks and imperfections that come with age. The seller doesn't provide a ton of details about the car's overall condition, so it's always a good idea to go check it out in person and get a feel for what you're getting into. But if you're someone who appreciates the charm and character of classic cars, a few dings and dents might just add to the Ranchero's overall appeal. So, who is this car perfect for? Well, if you're a fan of vintage Fords or just love the idea of cruising around town in a piece of automotive history, this 1958 Ranchero might be right up your alley. It's got a clean title, an automatic transmission, and a gas-powered engine that's ready to hit the road. Plus, with its unique combination of truck-like utility and classic car style, the Ranchero is sure to turn heads wherever you go. At the end of the day, this 1958 Ford Ranchero is a rare find that's sure to make some lucky buyer very happy. It might not be in perfect condition, but it's got a ton of character and a history that's hard to beat. So if you're ready to take the plunge and become the proud owner of a true American classic, head on over to Craigslist and check out this Ranchero for yourself. Who knows? It might just be the start of a lifelong love affair with vintage Fords. 4. We've got a real gem from the swinging 60s, a 1965 Plymouth Valiant that's looking for a new owner to love and cherish it. This classic beauty is currently up for sale on Craigslist for just $6,500, and let me tell you, it's got a lot of heart and soul. First off, let's talk about the condition of this Valiant. The seller describes it as being in good shape, which is pretty impressive considering it's almost 60 years old. The white paint job is clean and shiny, and the body looks straight and free of any major dents or rust. The interior is also said to be clean, so you can expect to be cruising in comfort and style. Under the hood, this Valiant is packing a 6-cylinder engine that's been upgraded with an electronic ignition system. The seller notes that the car runs great, which is always music to a car lover's ears, and if you're a fan of classic shifters, you'll love the Hurley-style unit that's been installed in this Valiant. Now, I do have to mention one small issue. The odometer is currently broken. That means we can't be 100% sure of the actual mileage on this car. However, the seller does state that it was their daughter's high school ride, which suggests that it's been well maintained and cared for over the years. Speaking of maintenance, this Valiant is ready to hit the road whenever you are. It's currently registered through February 2025 and comes with a clean California title. That means you can drive it off the lot and straight to your favorite cruising spot without any hassles or headaches. Of course, it's important to remember that this is still a vintage vehicle, and it may have some quirks and character that come with age. But if you're someone who appreciates the charm and nostalgia of classic cars, those little imperfections just add to the overall appeal. So, who is this 1965 Plymouth Valiant perfect for? Well, if you're looking for a fun and stylish ride that's sure to turn heads and start conversations, this could be the car for you. It's got a clean and classic look, a reliable engine, and a price tag that won't break the bank. Plus, with its spacious interior and comfortable ride, it's perfect for cruising around town or taking on longer road trips. 5. We've got a real treat for you, a stunning 1956 Oldsmobile 88 Holiday that's sure to make your heart skip a beat. This classic beauty is currently up for grabs on Craigslist for just $9,850, and let me tell you, It's an opportunity you don't want to miss. First off, can we just take a moment to appreciate the sheer elegance of this car? The green paint job is absolutely gorgeous, and it's clear that this Olds has been very well maintained over the years. The seller describes the condition as excellent, and based on the photos, I have to agree. This is a car that looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor despite being over 60 years old. But it's not just about looks with this Oldsmobile, it's got the power to back it up. Under the hood, you'll find a beefy 324 cubic inch engine that churns out an impressive 230 horsepower. That's more than enough to get your blood pumping as you cruise down the highway or take on a twisty back road. And with a smooth automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive, this car is an absolute joy to drive. Now, I know some of you might be hesitant about buying a classic car, especially one with a few miles on the odometer. But fear not, this Olds has just 73,860 miles on the clock, which is practically nothing for a car of this age. Plus, it's currently licensed and ready to hit the road, so you won't have to deal with any pesky paperwork or registration issues. Of course, it's important to note that this is still a vintage vehicle, and it may have some quirks and character that come with the territory. But if you're someone who appreciates the charm and nostalgia of classic cars, those little imperfections just add to the overall appeal. And with a clean title and a seller who seems to have a great sense of humor, just check out that bit about asking your wife's permission. You can buy with confidence knowing that you're getting a quality vehicle. So, who is this 1956 Oldsmobile 88 Holiday perfect for? Well, if you're a fan of classic American cars and you're looking for a head-turning ride that's sure to impress, this could be the one for you. It's got style, power, and a price tag that won't break the bank. Plus, with its spacious interior and comfortable ride, it's perfect for cruising around town or taking on longer road trips with the family. At the end of the day, this Oldsmobile is a true piece of automotive history. It's a car that's been cherished and well maintained by its previous owners, and now it's ready to start a new chapter with a lucky buyer. So, if you're ready to experience the thrill of driving a classic car and the pride of ownership that comes with it, head on over to Craigslist and check out this 1956 Oldsmobile 88 Holiday for yourself. Who knows? It might just be the start of a lifelong love affair with vintage cars. 6. We've got something truly special for you. A rare and stunning 1978 Ford Thunderbird Diamond Jubilee edition that's sure to take your breath away. This one-of-a-kind beauty is currently up for sale on Craigslist for $12,800, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, can we just take a moment to appreciate the sheer elegance and style of this Thunderbird? The pastel beige exterior is absolutely gorgeous, and it's perfectly complemented by the Ember Valino color-keyed accents on the turbine wheels, side and bumper moldings, grille, and top. This car is a true work of art, and it's clear that Ford pulled out all the stops when they created the Diamond Jubilee edition. But it's not just about looks with this Thunderbird. It's got the power and features to back it up. Under the hood, you'll find a beefy 351 Cleveland engine that's paired with a smooth automatic transmission. And when it comes to creature comforts, this car has it all. Full power, a 6-way power seat, cold air conditioning, and even a power antenna that still works like a charm. Plus, with full gauges including a tachometer, you'll always know exactly how your car is performing. Now let's talk about the interior of this Thunderbird. One word comes to mind: luxurious. The seats are upholstered in rich, supple leather, and the floors are covered in yards of thick plush shag carpeting, and that carpeting extends all the way into the trunk, creating a cozy and inviting space that's perfect for picnics or tailgating. Trust me, once you sink into those seats and feel that soft carpeting under your feet, you'll never want to get out. Of course, the real selling point of this Thunderbird is its rarity. According to the Marti report, only 564 of these Diamond Jubilee editions were ever produced, making this car a true collector's item. And with just 37,000 miles on the odometer, which are represented as actual, although the title will show exempt due to age, this Thunderbird is in absolutely pristine condition. It's clear that it's been cherished and well maintained by its previous owners, and now it's ready to find a new home with a lucky buyer. So, Who is this 1978 Ford Thunderbird Diamond Jubilee Edition perfect for? Well, if you're a fan of classic American luxury cars and you appreciate the finer things in life, this could be the car of your dreams. It's got style, power, and features that were absolutely cutting edge for its time, and it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Plus, with its spacious interior and smooth ride, it's perfect for cruising down the highway or taking on longer road trips in total comfort. 7. We've got a real treat for you. A stunning 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix LJ that's sure to make your heart skip a beat. This classic beauty is currently up for grabs on Craigslist for $14,500. And let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, can we just take a moment to appreciate the sheer style and elegance of this Grand Prix? The mandarin orange exterior is absolutely gorgeous, and it's perfectly complemented by the tan vinyl roof. This color combination is a true classic, and it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Plus, with no rust to be found, it's clear that this car has been very well maintained over the years. But it's not just about looks with this Grand Prix. It's got the power and features to back it up. Under the hood, you'll find a robust 350 V8 engine that's ready to roar to life at a moment's notice. And with just 66,315 miles on the odometer, this car has plenty of life left in it. Whether you're cruising down the highway or taking on a twisty back road, this Grand Prix is sure to provide an exhilarating driving experience. When it comes to creature comforts, this Grand Prix has it all. You've got power windows, locks, and even a trunk release, so you can access your cargo with ease. The air conditioning will keep you cool and comfortable on even the hottest of days, while the cruise control makes long drives a breeze. And let's not forget about the AM/FM Hard 8-track stereo system. It's the perfect way to enjoy your favorite tunes while you're out on the road. But the real star of the show when it comes to this Grand Prix interior is the seating. You've got crushed velour bucket seats that are so comfortable, you'll never want to get out of them. And with a console shift, you'll feel like you're in complete control of this powerful machine. Trust me, once you sink into those seats and grip that shifter, you'll understand why the Grand Prix was such a popular choice among discerning drivers. Of course, it's important to note that this is still a classic car, and it may have some minor imperfections that come with age. But overall, the seller describes this Grand Prix as being in very nice condition, and based on the photos, I have to agree. It's clear that this car has been cherished and well maintained by its previous owners, and now it's ready to find a new home with a lucky buyer. So, who is this 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix LJ perfect for? Well, if you're a fan of classic American muscle cars and you appreciate the finer things in life, this could be the car of your dreams. It's got style, power, and features that were absolutely cutting edge for its time, and it's sure to impress anyone who sees it. Plus, with its spacious interior and comfortable ride, it's perfect for cruising around town or taking on longer road trips with friends and family. 8. We've got a real classic on our hands, a 1979 Lincoln Mark V that's looking for a new owner to give it some love and attention. This vintage beauty is currently up for sale on Craigslist for just $8,000, and while it may not be in perfect condition, it's still got plenty of potential. First off, let's talk about what we know about this Mark V. The seller mentions that they've only put about 500 miles on it in the 3 years they've owned it, which suggests that it's been sitting for a while. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that it may need some TLC to get it back into top shape. On the plus side, the seller has made some recent upgrades to the car, including a new gas tank sending unit, master cylinder, and carburetor. These are all important components that can help ensure the car runs smoothly and reliably. It's always a good sign when a seller has invested in maintaining and improving their vehicle. Now, it's worth noting that the odometer has rolled over, which means we don't know the car's true mileage. This is pretty common for classic cars of this age, but it does add an element of uncertainty. It's possible that this Mark V has seen a lot of miles over the years, so it's important to keep that in mind when considering its overall condition. Speaking of condition, the seller describes this Mark V as being in good shape. Of course, good can mean different things to different people, so it's always a good idea to see the car in person and get a feel for its true condition. Based on the limited information provided in the ad, it's hard to say exactly what kind of shape this car is in. That being said, if you're someone who enjoys working on cars and bringing them back to their former glory, this Mark V could be a great project. It's got a clean title and a gas-powered engine, which are both good signs. And with its classic styling and luxurious features, it's sure to turn heads wherever it goes. So, who is this 1979 Lincoln Mark V perfect for? Well, if you're a fan of vintage American luxury cars, and you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, this could be the car for you. It may not be in perfect condition, but it's got a lot of potential for someone who's willing to put in the time and effort to restore it. Of course, it's important to approach this car with a realistic mindset. It's not going to be a pristine, show-quality vehicle right out of the gate. But if you're patient and persistent, you could turn this Mark V into a real gem. A 9. We've got a real diamond in the rough, a 1968 Chevrolet Nova that's just begging for a new owner to give it some love and attention. This classic muscle car is currently up for sale on Craigslist for just $6,500, and while it may not be in perfect condition, it's got a ton of potential for the right buyer. First off, let's talk about what we know about this Nova. It's a California car, which is always a good sign. Those West Coast rides tend to be a bit more rust-free than their Midwest and East Coast counterparts. Under the hood, you'll find a 350 V8 engine paired with a 350 transmission, which is a classic combo that's sure to get your heart racing. Now, it's worth noting that the engine is currently not running, and the seller mentions that it's just setting in car, and that means this Nova is going to need some work to get it back on the road. But if you're someone who loves a good project and isn't afraid to get your hands dirty, this could be the perfect opportunity to bring a piece of automotive history back to life. The seller also mentions that the odometer has rolled over, which means we don't know the car's true mileage. That's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind when assessing the overall condition of the vehicle. It's possible that this Nova has seen a lot of miles over the years, so it's important to give it a thorough inspection before making any decisions. As for the car's appearance, the seller describes it as being in good condition, with a blue paint job that looks pretty sharp in the photos. Of course, good can mean different things to different people, so it's always a good idea to see the car in person and get a feel for its true condition. But based on what we can see in the ad, this Nova looks like it's got a lot of potential. One thing to note is that the seller is pretty adamant about not dealing with any scammers or tire kickers. They've made it clear that they're only interested in serious buyers who are ready to make a deal. So if you're just looking to kick the tires and waste someone's time, this probably isn't the car for you. But if you're a true car enthusiast who appreciates the value of a classic muscle car and is willing to put in the work to bring it back to its former glory, this 1968 Chevrolet Nova could be a real gem. It's got a clean Colorado title in the seller's name, which is always a good sign. And with its iconic styling and powerful engine, it's sure to turn heads wherever it goes. So, who is this Nova perfect for? Well, if you're someone who loves a good project and isn't afraid of a little elbow grease, this could be the car of your dreams. It's not going to be a quick or easy fix, but the end result could be truly spectacular. Plus, with its affordable price tag and classic good looks, it's a great way to get into the world of vintage muscle cars without breaking the bank. 10. We've got a real treat for you, a 1972 Buick Riviera that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic beauty is priced at $13,900, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Is this car really as good as it sounds? Well, let me break it down for you. The seller has been nothing but upfront and honest about the condition of this Riviera. They've made it clear that it runs and drives smoothly, thanks to a rebuilt 455 engine under the hood. That's right, this baby purrs like a kitten. But the upgrades don't stop there. The seller has gone above and beyond to make sure this car looks and feels like new. They've added new wheels and tires, giving it a fresh, modern look. And on the inside, they've replaced the seats, gauges, and carpet, so you can cruise in comfort and style. Plus, they've even added sound deadening throughout the entire car, so you can enjoy your favorite tunes without any unwanted noise. Now, I'll be honest with you, There are still a few small details that need to be finished up, but the seller has made it clear that they have all the necessary interior trim and panels, as well as the exterior trim and door handles. So with just a little bit of TLC, this Riviera will be ready to hit the road and turn heads wherever it goes. And the best part? This car comes with a clear Nevada title in the seller's name, so you can have peace of mind knowing that everything is above board. So if you're looking for a classic car that's been lovingly restored and is ready for a new owner, look no further than this 1972 Buick Riviera. With its powerful engine, stylish upgrades, and honest seller, this car is the total package. Don't miss out on your chance to own a piece of automotive history. Head on over to Craigslist and check it out for yourself. 11. Get ready to feast your eyes on this stunning 1973 Lincoln Continental Mark IV that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. And let me tell you, this beauty is an absolute steal at just $6,900. First things first, let's talk about the condition of this classic ride. The seller has been completely upfront and honest, stating that this Lincoln is in excellent shape. That's right, you heard me correctly. Excellent. This car has been well maintained and cared for throughout its life, and it shows. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 460 Ci V8 engine that's been rebuilt and equipped with a single 4-barrel carburetor. This beast was factory rated at 215 horsepower and 350 lb-ft of torque, so you know it's got plenty of get up and go. And the best part? The seller reports no issues with the engine or transmission, so you can hit the road with confidence. But that's not all. This Lincoln Continental Mark IV is loaded with all the original features that make it such a sought-after classic. From the sunroof to the vinyl top, everything is just as it was when this beauty rolled off the assembly line. And with only 72,702 original miles on the odometer, you know this car has been cherished and driven with care. Now I know what you might be thinking. What's the catch? Well, the seller does mention that the hood needs a bit of adjusting to close properly, as some unsavory characters made off with the battery and original hubcaps, leaving the front hood misaligned. But hey, that's an easy fix for any enthusiast who knows their way around a toolbox. And if you're worried about any hidden damage, don't be. The seller assures us that this Lincoln has never been in an accident and boasts a straight body. Plus, it's recently been treated to a fresh coat of silver paint that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. So if you're in the market for a classic car that's been lovingly maintained and is ready for its next adventure, look no further than this 1973 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. With its powerful engine, original features, and honest seller, this car is the total package. Don't miss out on your chance to own a piece of automotive history. Head on over to Craigslist and make this beauty yours today. 12. We've got a real project car for those of you who love a good challenge, a 1985 Cadillac El Dorado that's up for grabs on Craigslist. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This car is going to need some serious work. But for those of you who are up for the task, this could be a real diamond in the rough. First things first, let's talk about the condition of this El Dorado. The seller has been upfront and honest, stating that the car is in fair condition. And when they say fair, they mean it. This car has seen better days, and it's going to need some serious TLC to get it back on the road. But here's the thing, the seller has already put in a ton of work on this car. They've invested around $11,000 in repairs over the last 6 years, so you know they've been dedicated to keeping this beauty alive. However, despite all that work, the car still has a bad engine. That's right, the heart of this beast needs some serious attention. Now, I know that might sound like a deal breaker for some of you, but for those of you who are serious collectors or enthusiasts, this could be an opportunity to own a piece of automotive history. The 1985 Cadillac El Dorado is a highly collectible car, and with some serious elbow grease and a new engine, this one could be a real showstopper. But let's be real, this car is not for the faint of heart. It's going to need to be towed from its current location in Painesville, Minnesota, and it's going to require a lot of work to get it back on the road. But if you're up for the challenge and have the skills and the budget to take on a project like this, then this could be the car for you. The seller is firm on their price of $2,300, and they're only interested in serious inquiries. So if you're just looking for a cheap daily driver, this probably isn't the car for you. But if you're a collector or an enthusiast who loves a good project, then this 1985 Cadillac El Dorado could be a real gem. So there you have it, folks. A 1985 Cadillac El Dorado that's in need of some serious love. It's not going to be an easy project, but for the right person, it could be a real labor of love. If you're up for the challenge and have the skills to take it on, then head on over to Craigslist and make this beauty yours. Who knows? With some hard work and dedication, you could be cruising down the road in a piece of automotive history in no time. Item 13. We've got a real treat for you. A 1983 Oldsmobile 98 Regency that's up for grabs on Craigslist. And let me tell you, this beauty is a real head-turner that won't break the bank. First things first, let's talk about the price. At just $11,900, this classic car is an absolute steal. You'd be hard-pressed to find another reliable classic in such great condition for under $12,000. And when you consider all the features and the low mileage, it's clear that this Oldsmobile is a real bargain. Speaking of mileage, this 98 Regency has only 88,000 miles on the odometer. That's right, folks. This car has plenty of life left in it for you to enjoy. And with its excellent running, driving, and shifting capabilities, you can hit the road with confidence knowing that this classic will get you where you need to go. But it's not just the mechanical aspects of this car that are impressive. The exterior is in fantastic shape, too. The original paint still shines like new, and there's no rust to be found anywhere on the body. Plus, all the body fillers are intact, so you know this car has been well maintained throughout its life. And when you step inside, you'll be blown away by how clean and presentable the interior is. There are no major rips, stains, or tears to be found, and all the features are in great working order. From the power windows and locks to the tilt wheel and cold AC, this Oldsmobile has everything you need to cruise in comfort and style. But perhaps the best thing about this car is how it turns heads wherever it goes. Whether you're cruising down the street or pulling up to a car show, this 1983 Oldsmobile 98 Regency is sure to get plenty of attention. And with its classic good looks and impressive condition, it's easy to see why. So if you're in the market for a reliable classic car that won't break the bank, look no further than this 1983 Oldsmobile 98 Regency. With its low mileage, excellent condition, and impressive features, this car is the total package. And at just $11,900, it's an absolute steal. But don't just take my word for it. Head on over to Craigslist and check out this beauty for yourself. Trust me, once you see it in person and take it for a spin, you'll be hooked. So don't wait. Make this 1983 Oldsmobile 98 Regency yours today and start turning heads wherever you go. 14. We've got a real gem for you. A 1975 GMC Sprint that's up for grabs on Craigslist. And let me tell you, this beauty is in fantastic condition and ready to hit the road. First things first, let's talk about the body style. This Sprint is a coupe pickup hybrid, which means you get the best of both worlds. The sleek look of a coupe with the practicality of a pickup truck. It's a rare find, and it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. But it's not just the unique body style that makes this Sprint special, it's the excellent condition it's in. The seller has made it clear that both the body and interior are in top-notch shape, so you can feel confident that you're getting a quality vehicle. Under the hood, you'll find a newer 350 Chevy GM motor that's been replaced, ensuring that this Sprint has plenty of power and reliability. And with dual exhaust, you know it's going to sound as good as it looks. But perhaps the best thing about this Sprint is that it's smog exempt. That's right, folks. You won't have to worry about any pesky smog checks or regulations holding you back from enjoying this classic ride. And let's not forget about the tires. This Sprint has brand new tires all around, so you can hit the road with confidence knowing that you've got plenty of grip and traction. Now, I know the price tag of $10,000 might seem a bit steep at first glance, but when you consider the excellent condition, unique body style, and new motor, it's clear that this Sprint is worth every penny. Plus, with its smog-exempt status, you'll save money in the long run on registration and smog checks. So if you're in the market for a classic car that's equal parts stylish and practical, look no further than this 1975 GMC Sprint. With its excellent condition, new motor, and smog-exempt status, this beauty is ready to hit the road and turn heads wherever you go. But don't just take my word for it. Head on over to Craigslist and check out this Sprint for yourself. Trust me, once you see it in person and take it for a spin, you'll be hooked. So don't wait. Make this 1975 GMC Sprint yours today and start enjoying all the benefits of owning a classic car that's built to last. 15. We've got a real classic for you, a 1964 Chevrolet Impala SS that's up for grabs on Craigslist. And let me tell you, this beauty is a true piece of American muscle car history. First things first, let's talk about the condition of this Impala SS. The seller has listed it as being in good condition, which is a promising start. However, they do mention that it needs a little bit of body work and some TLC to get it back to its former glory. But hey, that's to be expected with a car that's over 50 years old. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 8-cylinder engine that's ready to roar to life. And with rear-wheel drive, you know this Impala SS is built for speed and performance. Plus, with an automatic transmission, it's easy to drive and perfect for cruising down the highway. Now, I know some of you might be a little hesitant about the 125-150 miles on the odometer, but let's be real. This car is a classic, and those miles just add to its character and history. Plus, with a little bit of maintenance and care, this Impala SS has plenty of life left in it. One of the things that really stands out about this car is its stunning orange paint color. It's sure to turn heads wherever you go, and it's a true testament to the bold and daring style of the 1960s. But perhaps the best thing about this Impala SS is the price. At just $15,000, it's a steal for a classic car of this caliber. Sure, it might need a little bit of work to get it back to its former glory, but the potential for this car is endless. So if you're a true car enthusiast who appreciates the history and style of American muscle cars, then this 1964 Chevrolet Impala SS is definitely worth checking out. With its good condition, powerful engine, and stunning orange paint job, this car is ready to hit the road and turn heads wherever it goes. But don't just take my word for it. Head on over to Craigslist and check out this Impala SS for yourself. Trust me, once you see it in person and hear that engine roar to life, you'll be hooked. So don't wait. Make this 1964 Chevrolet Impala SS yours today and start enjoying all the benefits of owning a true piece of American muscle car history. 16. We've got a real classic for you, a 1966 Chrysler 300 that's up for grabs on Craigslist. And let me tell you, this beauty has a lot of potential for the right buyer. First things first, let's talk about the condition of this Chrysler 300. The seller has listed it as being in good condition, which is a promising start. However, they do mention that the car has been sitting for over 20 years, so it's going to need some work to get it back on the road. But hey, that's all part of the fun of owning a classic car, right? Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt 383 engine that's ready to roar to life. And with rear-wheel drive, you know this Chrysler 300 is built for speed and performance. Plus, with an automatic transmission, it's easy to drive and perfect for cruising down the highway. Now, I know some of you might be a little concerned about the broken odometer and the fact that the speedometer and gas gauge don't work. But let's be real. This car is a classic, and those little quirks just add to its character and charm. Plus, with a little bit of elbow grease and some basic repairs, you can get those things fixed up in no time. One of the things that really stands out about this Chrysler 300 is the work that's already been done to it. The seller has installed new tires, carpet, and even recovered the back seat. And while the original front buckets are in rough shape, the seller has replaced them with new ones. It's clear that someone has put a lot of love and effort into this car, and it shows. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the door panels and padded dash. The seller admits that they're not in the best shape, and that's something to keep in mind if you're considering this car. But again, with a little bit of work and some TLC, you can get those things fixed up and looking great. Now I know the price tag of $6,000 might seem a bit steep for a car that needs some work. But when you consider the potential of this Chrysler 300 and the fact that it comes with a clear title in the seller's name, it's actually a pretty good deal. Plus, the seller recommends trailering the car to its new home, which shows that they're being upfront and honest about its condition. So if you're a true car enthusiast who appreciates the history and style of classic American cars, then this 1966 Chrysler 300 is definitely worth checking out. With its rebuilt engine, new tires, and recovered back seat, this car has a lot of potential for the right buyer. And while it might need some work to get it back to its former glory, the end result will be a true piece of automotive history that you can be proud to own. 17. We've got a real gem on our hands, a 1965 Buick Lasaber that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist for just $6,500. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 36,000 miles? That's gotta be too good to be true. But hold on to your seats, because this classic beauty has got some serious potential. First off, let's talk about those unusual factory options. Dual exhaust? Check. A high-compression Wildcat engine that pumps out 250 horsepower? Oh yeah. And let's not forget about the trunk release. Buick tissue holder, speed warning, power steering, and brakes. This car was clearly ordered by someone who knew what they wanted. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The seller does mention some rust issues, particularly in the lower areas and trunk pan. But hey, that's just part of the charm of owning a classic car, right? The good news is that the floors are in great shape, and the rust spots should only require some patching rather than full panel replacements. The interior might need a bit of TLC, but it's in excellent original condition overall. And sure, it'll need a new exhaust system, but that's just another opportunity to make this car truly your own. At the end of the day, this 1965 Buick Lasaber is a straight-up sleeper with a ton of potential. It's a unique find that's just begging for someone to give it the time and effort it deserves. And at just $6,500, it's a steal of a deal. So if you're looking for a classic car project that's got some serious character, don't sleep on this one. Head on over to Craigslist and check it out for yourself. Who knows, it might just be the start of your next great adventure. 18. We're diving into the world of classic muscle cars with a 1981 Chevrolet Camaro that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This bad boy is priced at $6,800, and while it might not be in pristine condition, it's got plenty of potential for the right buyer. Let's start with the heart of this beast, a rebuilt factory 350 engine that's been tricked out with an aluminum intake and a rebuilt Holley carburetor. With new spark plugs and wires, this engine is ready to roar. And with a turbo 350 transmission and a 10-bolt Posey rear end, this Camaro is built for speed. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But what about the rest of the car? Well, the seller is upfront about the fact that this Camaro needs some work in the paint and interior departments. But here's the thing. This car is a rust-free Texas-Arizona car, which means it's got a solid foundation to build on. Plus, the seller has already done some serious work under the hood. We're talking a sandblasted and powder-coated subframe, all new ball joints and tie rod ends, and a complete polyurethane bushing kit. And let's not forget about the little details, like the fact that all the lights and directionals work and the cowl induction hood is in full effect. Now, I'm not gonna lie. This Camaro is gonna need some love to get it back to its former glory. But for the right buyer who's willing to put in the work, this car could be an absolute stunner. And with a clean title and a price tag of just $6,800, it's a solid investment for any classic car enthusiast. So if you're ready to take on a project car that's got some serious potential, head on over to Craigslist and check out this 1981 Chevrolet Camaro. With a little elbow grease and some TLC, this classic muscle car could be the ride of your dreams. 19. We've got a real treat for you, a 1972 Ford Mustang that's up for grabs on Craigslist for just $10,000. This classic pony car is a true time capsule, with plenty of original features that are sure to make any enthusiast drool. First and foremost, let's talk about that factory 302 engine. While it's been converted to electronic ignition, everything else in the drivetrain is pure, unadulterated factory goodness. And get this, the engine has only been rebuilt once by the previous owner, so, it's got plenty of life left in it. But that's not all. The rear end has been professionally rebuilt, with new axle bearings and spider gears, so you can be sure that this Mustang is ready to hit the road. And with new brake booster and master cylinder, you'll have plenty of stopping power when you need it. Now let's talk about the cosmetics. This Mustang is rocking some seriously cool rally wheels and hubcaps, complete with beauty rings. But if that's not your style, don't worry. The seller still has the factory wheels and hubcaps, so you can switch them out and keep things original. But here's where things get really interesting. This Mustang has a custom, massively upgraded stereo system that's sure to blow your mind. We're talking Kenwood, Exelon, and a subwoofer that's got its own battery custom installed to fit. And the best part? No car modifications were needed to make it happen. Of course, if you're a purist, you might prefer the factory stereo, and the seller's got you covered there too. They still have the original unit, ready to be reinstalled at a moment's notice. But wait, there's more. This Mustang came from the factory with a dedication plaque to the original owner, and it even has a capacitor that plays "Love Me Tender" by Elvis Presley when you use the turn signals. How cool is that? And if you're worried about getting stranded on the side of the road, don't be. This Mustang still has its original spare tire, complete with a can of inflator. It may be deflated, but it's a true piece of history that any collector would love to have. Overall, this 1972 Ford Mustang is a true gem that's sure to turn heads wherever it goes. With its original features, professional rebuilds, and custom upgrades, it's the perfect blend of classic style and modern convenience. And at just $10,000, it's a steal of a deal that won't last long. 20. We're taking a closer look at a 1973 Cadillac DeVille that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist for $8,000. This iconic coupe is a true representation of the luxury and style that Cadillac is known for, and it's got plenty of original features that are sure to impress. First off, let's talk about that interior. The seller claims that it's all original, with no rips or tears to be found. That's a real rarity in a car of this age, and it's a testament to how well this DeVille has been cared for over the years. You can just imagine sinking into those plush seats and cruising down the road in ultimate comfort. Now let's move on to the exterior. The seller notes that the body is straight with no dents, which is always a good sign. However, they do mention that the car has been painted at some point. While that might not be a deal breaker for some buyers, it's definitely something to keep in mind if you're looking for a completely original example. Under the hood, this DeVille is packing a powerful 8-cylinder engine that's sure to provide plenty of get up and go. The seller claims that it runs well, which is always a plus in a classic car. And with just 80,000 miles on the odometer, this Caddy has plenty of life left in it. Of course, as with any classic car, there are bound to be some imperfections. The seller doesn't go into too much detail about any potential issues, so it's always a good idea to get a thorough inspection before making a purchase. But overall, this 1973 Cadillac DeVille seems like a solid example of a classic luxury coupe. So if you're in the market for a vintage ride that oozes style and sophistication, this DeVille might just be the one for you. With its original interior, straight body, and strong running engine, it's got all the makings of a great classic car. And at just $8,000, it's a relatively affordable way to get into the hobby. But don't just take my word for it. Head on over to Craigslist and check out the listing for yourself. And if you do decide to take the plunge, be sure to give this DeVille the love and attention it deserves. With a little TLC, it could be the pride and joy of your classic car collection for years to come.